How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be talking about 4 movies that I all have on Blu-ray over here, and these are Unofficial Tales from the Crypt Movies. And I suppose before we get into this, I should explain what I mean by Unofficial Tales from the Crypt Movies. A lot of you guys know that the Tales from the Crypt TV show had 3 movies. Demon Night, Bordello of Blood, and much later, Ritual came along. Before that, Amicus, the British production house in the 70s, made a Tales from the Crypt movie, which they made a sequel to, which they titled Vault of Horror, off of another EC Comics magazine. But when you talk about Tales from the Crypt movies, there are 4 movies that really should also be talked about in the same breath, but don't get recognized nearly as often. Now, all 4 of these movies have some connection to Tales from the Crypt, and most of them are horror, not the first one we got here, obviously, but really good movie recommendations if you're fans of them, but these also do have a connection to Tales from the Crypt in some way, and in this video we're going to go over what that connection is. We're going to do a little review of the movie, and we'll also take a look at the physical media. So anyway, let's just jump right in to a John Hughes film, Weird Science. I really do like this movie. Not sure if it's my absolute favorite John Hughes film, but it definitely is up there. Probably top 3. But anyway, what is this connection to Tales from the Crypt? Well, if you guys read the opening credits in the Tales from the Crypt TV show, you may notice it says, based on a story originally published in Tales from the Crypt, but it doesn't always say Tales from the Crypt. Sometimes it will say Vault of Horror, Haunt of Fear, Two-Fisted Tales, and that's because EC Comics put out several different magazines, and the show adapts stories from lots of them, but the magazines would all have their own little tone or theme, which made them different from Tales from the Crypt, but had a similar feel because they're all from the same publisher with a lot of the same team working on them. One of the other magazines was Weird Science. This one focused obviously on science fiction tales, but they'd all be strange or weird, right? So this is based on an EC Comics magazine as well, but a lot of people forget that. It's a great 80s comedy, it's a great John Hughes film, and a lot of people forget it's also an EC Comics film, and that is pretty cool. This is the new Arrow video release that came out a bit ago, a really nice Blu-ray of this film, and really glad to pick it up, that weird hole that Arrow does here. I guess so you can keep it in the right place, I don't know. Flip it open, or open it up. Here's the B cover. This disc here, this case, it has a flipper insert, so you can have it on this cover, or you can have it on one that matches the front there. I always, when I have a slipcase, turn the inside to be the different one, but I really do prefer this cover. They have the Steelbook, which was this cover, but I really like this one better, just the colors and the iconic image. But anyway, open it up. There's the disc and the booklet, which are set to the A, and there's an ad for more Arrow stuff behind the booklet. But anyway, yeah, this movie, you get these 2 nerds. They don't have too many friends, so they go and they make a supercomputer, and they power it up through the internet to make it even stronger. And they take this Barbie doll and they hook it up to the computer in this scene that's kind of a parody of Frankenstein. And they bring the Barbie doll to life, and it becomes a real human woman that is hanging out with them, and they're not really used to that. But in addition to it being a real human woman, she's actually very, very powerful. She can alter reality to basically whatever she wants it to be. She can change the world, and she can spawn new things in the world. So she can do almost literally whatever she wants. But because she's also super smart, she does have a plan, and these guys think they're, going around, having fun adventures, but in the back of her mind, she's gonna teach them a bit about taking life by the horns there. So a really fun movie, and based on another one of EC Comics properties, so pretty cool. Another one, a new Scream Factory release of Death Becomes Her. We got Bruce Willis, Goldie Hawn, and Meryl Streep in this one, and Robert Zemeckis. Robert Zemeckis, for those of you that know the HBO show, he was a producer of the show, and in addition to being a producer, he actually directed, I believe, 4 episodes of it. You may know Robert Zemeckis for directing Back to the Future as well. But Robert Zemeckis made Death Becomes Her while he was making Tales from the Crypt, and a lot of people say he had the same headspace when he made this movie. It really does feel like a really long Tales from the Crypt episode in tone and stuff. And it's actually a big mystery to me why this isn't a Tales from the Crypt movie. Really, if they had just put a Crypt Keeper section at the beginning and the end, it really could have been a Tales from the Crypt movie. I really don't know why it isn't. It's Zemeckis, it's the right tone, and if you need further proof, the trailer for this movie actually used the Tales from the Crypt theme song, and it's like really as close as you can get to a Tales from the Crypt movie in all but name. But anyway, you get Bruce Willis, he's dating Goldie Hawn, but Meryl Streep comes and steals him away. Years and years go by, and Goldie Hawn shows up again, wins Bruce Willis back, and they have a plan to murder Meryl Streep, take her money, and the two of them can wind up happily ever after together. But before this happens, Meryl Streep, who's worried about losing her looks and getting older, goes and meets a mysterious lady who has a special Egyptian formula that will prevent her from aging and prevent her from dying. And of course she takes that, and after the murder plot, wacky hijinks ensue. You really do get the front part being the classic Tales from the Crypt revenge plot, the plot to murder, and then the second half becomes the wackier side of Tales from the Crypt with not being able to kill Meryl Streep. So Scream Factory side, there's the back, and there's a little picture of the potion that they take in this movie. A really fun movie, and it's long enough that by the time you get to the end, you really do care about these characters, and you get really invested, and you want to know what happens next. B cover, this is like the other one, reversible, and you can set it to the A if you want to, but I always do A, B with slip cases. But this is the holding the potion, there's her, and open it up, you can see the flip, and the disc is actually matching the B this time. They usually match the A, but there's the disc with the B cover, and really fun release, really good movie. Tales from the Crypt fans, this is really the closest out of all the unofficial movies to being Tales from the Crypt movie. I really don't know why it is, and I'd imagine it's a rights issue or something. I don't know. Universal versus... Is this Universal? Yeah, Universal versus Warner Brothers, maybe. I don't know. But basically, a Tales from the Crypt movie. Really need to check it out. Another movie, a Peter Jackson film. This is the 15th anniversary edition. Michael J. Fox in The Frighteners. So this movie, you have Michael J. Fox, and he can see ghosts, and there's also a strange, mysterious force. A number will appear on a person, and when the number appears, that person is the next to go. You also get a subplot about, the people behind it and what they're doing, and you get his ghost friends, and there's, of course, ghosts that aren't as friendly. There's actually the drill instructor from Full Metal Jackets in here as a ghost, which is a really fun, I guess, shared universe, right? But yeah, Peter Jackson, a lot of people don't know, before he did King Kong and Lord of the Rings, he did a ton of horror movies, Bad Taste, Brain Dead / Dead Alive, and The Frighteners, a really fun comedy horror that a lot of people should check out, for Peter Jackson, or for comedy horror, for Tales from the Crypt. This one, it started out, I believe, Robert Zemeckis was an executive producer on this. And he originally, when this movie was in production, when they were making it, it was going to be a Tales from the Crypt movie. They filmed it thinking it would be, and then at the last minute, for who knows what reason, they decided, no, let the movie stand on its own, which I guess it's cool to let it stand on its own, but this was going to be a Tales from the Crypt movie until at the last minute they decided, nah, let's make it its own thing. So this there's the disc. This was going to be a Tales from the Crypt movie, and then they changed it at the last minute for whatever reason. But a really fun Peter Jackson horror comedy. He's talking to ghosts and has to figure out who this Grim Reaper guy is that's killing people. And this 15th anniversary edition has the director's cut from Peter Jackson in the theatrical. So pretty cool movie there. Really do like it. Now, up next, we have a movie directed by Robert Rodriguez and written by Quentin Tarantino. That is From Dusk Till Dawn. Now, I have this 4-pack here. We're really just talking about the first one, but this is the release of the film I have that has From Dusk Till Dawn 2, 3, and the making of Full Tilt Boogie, which is just a documentary about the making of From Dusk Till Dawn. But anyway, From Dusk Till Dawn, you get this family who's in an RV, and they're going to Mexico. Now, there's 2 thieves played by George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino, and they're on the run. They see this family in this RV. They kidnap the family, and they force the family to take them to Mexico. So a cool true crime thing, like something you may have seen from an episode based on Two-Fisted Tales. Now, this movie does have more of a connection to Tales from the Crypt, but I can't talk about that without spoiling it. There are plot elements in this movie, certain turns of events that if you don't know about it, you'll never see them coming. And this movie gets spoiled a lot on the internet. So I want to say really quickly, if you have not had this movie spoiled, if you don't know the plot elements that come into this movie later, stop this video right now and go watch this movie. If you're fans of Tarantino, if you're fans of Rodriguez, if you're fans of Tales from the Crypt, watch this movie without me telling you anything else. So I'm going to have to do spoilers to cover how it's connected to Tales from the Crypt. So if you guys have not seen this, pause the video right now, go watch the movie. I'm going to do spoilers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, I hope you're not around. But basically, when the RV gets to Mexico, they stop at this bar, and the bar is full of vampires. You think this is going to be a true crime movie up until you get to this bar, and then it's surprise, it's actually a supernatural horror with fun, over-the-top, really creatively designed vampires, and it comes out of nowhere, and it's a great surprise, one of the biggest, best twists in cinema. But anyway, a bar full of vampires, a brothel kind of, a bordello of blood, you might say. The thing with From Dusk Till Dawn is, according to Hollywood rumor, and I don't know if it's ever been officially confirmed, From Dusk Till Dawn started out as the original version of Bordello of Blood, but due to creative differences, Rodriguez and Tarantino took the movie by themselves and did their own thing with it. So, according to Hollywood Rumor, From Dusk Till Dawn was the original Bordello of Blood, but they left, and From Dusk Till Dawn became its own thing, and Tales from the Crypt made their own version of Bordello of Blood. But if you want to see a much more violent, over-the-top, with some great effects, lots of cool practical stuff, if you want to see a different version of Bordello of Blood, definitely check out From Dusk Till Dawn. Really a fun, crazy, over-the-top film. Rodriguez fans, Tarantino fans, you get Tarantino doing writing and acting, Rodriguez directing. Fun movie. Definitely check it out. So that's the 4 unofficial Tales from the Crypt movies that I know of. Weird Science, Death Becomes Her, The Frighteners, and From Dusk Till Dawn. If you know of any other movies that are unofficial movies, say other things based on EC Comics or things that were almost Tales from the Crypt movies, I'd love to know about them. Also, if you have just any recommendations, hey, if you're fans of Tales from the Crypt, check out these other movies. I'd love to hear about them in the comments. But anyway, I do about 95% horror movies on here. So if you like that, I definitely recommend sticking around. Other than that, everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll put a relevant playlist down at the bottom here. It'll probably be my Tales from the Crypt playlist. I'll put that in there. So if you want to see me talk about the show and movies and maybe even some comics, you can check that out. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. See you guys later. Relevant playlist at the bottom. Have a good day.